You can roll your tongue all you want to. Now, okay. Now, what does that mean? Black. 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 So Barnabas, hold on, because he said he don't know who. We asked him what Chinese was. They Greek. We asked him everybody Greek or Jew, but then we asked him, I don't know who y'all are, but right here, Paul and Barnabas, right? I mean Peter and Barnabas and Simeon was called Niger, which you wrote nigger, however you want to do it. It means black.
It probably does.
No, ain't no problem.
I got it. See, that's why the scripture, that's why you gotta search. That's why you gotta search and look up definitions of the word. You ain't gonna learn if you look the word up.
You don't know what's going on, man.
You told me to look it up.
That was a byword that would be called to us, according to the curses. That was a byword.
So what's your nationality?
I think he's Scottish.
You know what What's your dad?
I guess he's Scottish too.
Let them read the commentary. Now, this is the commentary on that.
Can I ask who wrote the commentary?
David Cusack, a Christian scholar.
I don't know his work.
That's okay. That's all right.
This is the commentary on David Cusack. Simon, who was called Niger, since Niger means black, he was presumably a black African among the congregation in Antioch.
So that means our Lord. So who was in? So what people was in the Greek and the Roman captivity? Israelites,
saying
right?
That those two guys were African descent. That doesn't mean everybody.
No, that don't say nothing about African, man.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
But they were prophets, though.
Yeah, they were prophets.
Okay.
Peter was the head apostle.
To the Gentiles.
Hey, Amos 3 and 7 says what?
Yep, they were prophets.
The Lord shows his secrets to the servants, the prophets. Right.
This ain't for everybody. Long story short, this ain't for everybody, man. This ain't for everybody. The Lord said He come to save His people from their sins. And when you go, let's go to Revelation 7. Since you think you got a scapegoat, there, right? You got to go into the words. All is talking about all of Israel, because we are scattered amongst. You might even very well be an Israelite. But guess what? The reason why I say all Israel is not of Israel is because you got to have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to understand the righteous judgment of the Lord's wisdom. You got to understand His righteous judgment.
You know, you say you're Scottish, your father might be Scottish. Scottish means black land.
Yeah.
Because the Israelites were in that land,
before
what's his name?
King James, King Charles the First, second.
So those men, they were sleeping with the women of the land as well. So they slept with so-called white women. You know what I'm saying?
But what if you're an Edomite, what your people did was hid that history and told us that our history only goes to the 1400s.
1420s.
Our history only goes to us being in the western coast of Africa, being slaves. That's why when we ask you who are we, we don't know, because they never gave us our history, because they purposely hid our history. But guess what? We got our history now.
That's right.
We are the chosen. We're according to prophecy. We are the chosen, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics, prominently, but we are scattered amongst the whole world. All right? That was prophecy. When you read Isaiah the 11th chapter, when you read Acts the 2nd chapter, it breaks down those Israelites were devout men out of every nation. That's what Revelation 7 and 9 is going into.
That's right. And if you look at the atrocities, let me ask you something, my man. Do you not think that we went through things?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. You think where is the payment for that? Where's the payments for our daughters being sold, our men raped, our total mentality? No one's paid for that, right? They didn't even give us the reparations. Are we paying Ukrainians? Are we paying every damn nation billions of money? And I bet in this land today, you look at niggas with a downgrade, man. Not saying, but you've been around fellow white people that look at us like, look at these pieces of shit, right? right? Now I'm asking you something. It's called karma, right? If nobody's paid for our atrocities, wouldn't it make sense that what now, us getting this back, now somebody's got to pay. Now you can understand who's got to be judged.
Right.
He said, he that toucheth you touches the what? The apple of my eye. Woo!
Do you not believe in the golden rule? What goes around comes around?
Come on, man. No, it says a man shall reap what he what? Sows.
Same thing.
Now, precept. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
So, the nation of Edom, they must be destroyed. They must go into slavery and serve slavery for 1,000 years and then be destroyed. They must be exterminated.
Which I think this is what caught your attention when you came up here.
It wasn't just that. I was trying to.
But because
look at everything.
the nation of Edom
It's biblical.
is the people that's in power right now.
And if you look
elites, they are Edomites. And it's these here. These bastards here, man.
These are your kings, my man.
These are the people, man. These are the Edomites. We didn't say that. These are the Edomites, though. They must be destroyed. These are the people that you've never seen before.
There's
but
no
they are
repentance for
empowered.
these people.
This the God of this world, right?
There's no salvation for these people. The same
Hebrews
Romans
12:16.
the same Romans that pierced Yahweh's side, there's no repentance for that. That's why he said he gonna get those that pierced his side.
That's right.
Ain't no salvation for them.
Lamentations 5:7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. So what the Israelites did, when the Lord gave us the law, when we went against it, he put us in captivity under what? The Egyptians,
Babylonians.
Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Persians, the Romans. Now we here in America. So guess what? It's all twofold. The same people that put us in there, Isaiah just said prepare slaughter for the children. Woo! So your forefathers left a tab for you. And they walked out. And you gotta pay that tab. That's what it is. That's why we say we dealing, we say, hey, you could be an Israelite. You could be. That means later on all this will be for you, but guess what? 2/3 of our own people, they
gonna be destroyed.
They gonna die too. Right?
My wife called me, guys. You guys
Look,
take the phone.
that's what Romans. No, now go back to Romans 9, so he can understand what the 2/3. Now go back to Romans 9, so now you can understand. He's gonna look. Remember,
all Israel, not all Israel.
Remember when Jesus, so-called Jesus Christ, was crucified? It was certain Jews that were saying, "Let His blood be upon our children." They gotta suffer the second death. Go ahead.
That's right.
Bible check, you get that NLT too?
Yeah.
So back in Romans 9, I'm gonna start at 3. For I could wish that myself were a curse from Hamashiach, from my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaining the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises.
Yeah, and that's why the Lord sent Apostle Paul to the Gentiles. That's why he felt that type of way. Yeah. See?
Hold on, wait.
All right, one more thing, and then if I can say something, I'd love to.
Now you read Revelation 7:9, right?
Yes.
Now, you go ahead, you still got it?
Hold on. Let's finish one thing at a time. Finish one thing at a time.
Because this NLT gonna dumb it down. Go ahead.
Hey, go all the way to
6.
what he wants.
All right, so verse 5. Who's on the Father, and of whom is concerned the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High blessed forever, to while not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect. But they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
But they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Meaning, matter of fact, real quick, get that in Matthew. Because his people are counted as heathens. If you don't hearken unto this word, it doesn't matter what nationality you are, right? Of an Israelite, right? It don't matter if you can be of any, you can be carrying on the customs of the Greeks, whatever country you coming on as an Israelite, right? If you call yourself, listen, if you call yourself an African American and you don't come from that, though you actually an Israelite, you're going to be destroyed. That's why the Lord said, those mine enemies that will not have me reign over them, bring them hither and slay them. Hold on. Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 17.
Listen.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
Start up one verse.
This is Matthew 18 and 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man.
So you could very well be an Israelite. This is the church. But if you neglect to receive this word, you are counted as what?
An heathen man.
It don't matter if you're an Israelite if you neglect to hear this word. That's why it says Romans 9 and 6. That's what that means.
Okay.
Because he said, not as though the word has taken none effect.
So one of the things Paul ends up saying in his, so Romans 9 through 11, one long paragraph in which he wrestles over Jesus was a Jew. Why is it that none of the Jews were believing in the present day?
Because they were not. Because they were not those that were predestined from the foundations of the earth. They're not of the earth. We can't hear you, man. Because I'm purposely trying to cut you off, but I already know what he's doing. Like the hell said. We ain't just started doing it. You got a spirit in you that we've been dealing with. It's not nothing about you particularly, but it's a perverse spirit of understanding of a perverse doctrine that's in you. Okay? So make your point.
So what he ends up saying is that the man who puts their hope in Christ will not be put to shame. And so I gotta go.
But he's talking about Israelites.
That's right.
Not everybody. Look, you went to school, right? Okay, wait a minute. Real quick. Okay, I'll let you go after this. I'll let you go after this.
What I just want to say is that's my hope is.
Listen.
My hope is in Christ.
Listen. Christ was an Israelite and he coming to save his people from their sins. When you go to school and you write a paragraph, there's an introduction. Paul had an introduction that says, who are Israelites?
That's the main topic.
That's the main point.
Subject matter.
The subject matter.
Yes.
Hey, get Romans 11 and 7.
I got it. This is Romans 11 and 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
That's the Israel that the Most High is coming for. Those that obtain this truth, which is beautiful because the elder opened up, the Lord shall judge the world with this truth, man.
Go back on it. Hey, this is Revelation 79. This is what he brought out.
Yeah.
He cut his own self. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people, and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. All right, so we're gonna go to that word
kindred.
You go to kindred.
And then Baba Kushab. To back up what you got, brother, get Acts the 2nd chapter and Isaiah the 11th chapter.
Yep.
But the precepts explain everything, man.
Yep. Hey, this is that word kindred. It's like I got this shit on here. It says through late, tribe. In the New Testament, all persons descended from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
Now,
he cut himself, man.
Now, this is Isaiah 11 and 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse.
It's talking about your house shop.
Yep. And a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Yep.
And the spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, and the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord.
Right, so that's the spirit that they were dealing with when Yahushua came 2,000 years ago. And those Jews that didn't receive him is because they were not of the election.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, and shall make him of quick understanding.
Shall make him of quick understanding at the age of 12. Go ahead.
In the fear of Yahweh, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
So when he was going around training up the disciples, he already knew who the Israelites were.
Yeah, already.
He wasn't judging out of the sight of his eyes. Yahushua could see straight into the spirit whether or not you was an Israelite. That's why in Matthew the 15th chapter, when he deals with that woman who lived in Canaan, she was an Israelite. He was training the disciples to be able to discern. And why he was training them to discern is faith. Because faith can only be given to Israelites, man.
That's why we was able to discern him.
Hey, Baba
Edomite.
Hey, Baba Kashal, man, one precept. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 21. And I saw and spread, it says, and I saw and spread it greatly, and have kept me a grape of a cluster, and a plant of a great people.
That's the elect, man.
Let the multitude perish. Then, it says, which was born in vain.
That's 2/3.
Let the grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
Yeah, so perfect in understanding is what you're going to deal with when you come before the true men of the Lord, the prophets. They're going to be perfect in their understanding. It didn't matter where he went. Apocrypha, Corinthians, Galatians, it don't matter where you go. The Spirit is on us to deal with every aspect.
Man, we have studied to show ourselves approved, man. And we're studying every single day, man.
That's right. That's right. And all they doing, like I say, you can do nothing against the truth before the truth. So when they come to, and you notice how long he stayed up here before he said he had to go. We asked the man to repeat Acts 5 and 30. Every word got Lord.
Yeah. He said, hey, Timmy's in the well. I gotta go, guys.
Hey, the Lord said he was going to give us a mouth and wisdom which none of our adversaries could gainsay nor resist, man. This word is bearing witness that we are his people, man. Romans 8:16.
And he was sent, though. He was sent. How you gonna be on the phone? You got motherfucking earplugs in your ear.
He probably was an agent.
No, I see this nigga said. And then you got earplugs in your ear.
Hey, you can tell the way he was running.
That was a get out scheme.
When he was running, he was like, that one ain't no real job.
No.
He started jogging like right
that's
over there.
That right there is the edit. That's why it says offenses must come. So that offense right there is done what? Look how many precepts flew out. Look how many, and he set it up for himself.
He set it up for himself.
He was going with us. He was literally moving us where the thing needed to go, man. So, man.
Finish that, brother, because we want to get to the scattering. You can jump down to 10.
This is Isaiah 11 and 10. All right.
This is why it says all.
It says, and in that day there shall a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek. To it shall the Gentiles seek.
Right, that sign, Yahushua. Go ahead, the Spirit. That Spirit. Go ahead.
And his rest shall be glorious.
His rest shall be glorious. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day.
It shall come to pass in that day.
That Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time.
Shall set his hand again the second. Who is the hand of Yahweh? Yahushua. His Spirit, the Spirit of Yahushua is what's gathering us. We was Gentiles. Go ahead.
It kind of says, the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which
this brother brought out. That remnant. That remnant is talking about the elect, man.
It says, we shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
And the nations is ethnos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ethnos is in the Greek. There's God there. Yeah.
It says, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So the scriptures explain themselves, precept upon precept. Now go to Acts. Apostle Paul said the same thing in Acts the 2nd chapter.
Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. And like when he hear that, he think it's talking about everybody. It's talking about these tribes of nations within themselves.
Yeah.
Hell, Jamaican, that's a whole damn nation. See, like, go over there. Yep. That's all you gonna see, Benjamin. You see?
And then they don't understand simple, because it said Jews out of every nation.
Yeah. Now then, it says, when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together, and they were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying to one another, behold, are not all these who speak Galilean? And now, how hear we every man in our own language wherein we were born?
That's their insight. That's their sign. That's the spirit that bear witness. They were able to understand from all these different seemingly ethnic backgrounds, but they were Israelites. But the spirit bears witness that we are the children of the Most High, man. It don't matter what language you speak. It don't matter what. If you're able to receive this, because it's engrafted. If you're able to, it's in you already.
Because they said it. They said it. Well, they speak in the language when we were born, so they know they come from Israel. They know they was Israelites. That's why I say they speak in the language we was born.
Now, Psalms 19. This says what? That there's nowhere that our language is not heard. So,
yep.
So our videos are automatically in these other languages
when they upload it. When they
exactly.
So if we drop if we drop a video in America, if it's seen in China, they can understand it because it's gonna be translated in language. Come on, man.
So the same thing is happening, man. Go ahead.
Are you done with that?
It says Parthians and Medes, Elamites, and dwellers of Mesopotamia, and in Judea and Cappadocia, and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in all the parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers in Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongue the wonderful works of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
So strangers. If you don't get it, it ain't for you.
Kick rocks.
Hey, get Ephesians. What's that? Ephesians 4.
Yeah, I call
get it. When you're in the heat of the battle, you're trying to get everything to come out in order, you know. But it'll come out in the end.
But I want to show this picture here.
Go ahead, bro. Hey, them demons out here tonight.
When you Google like Acts 2 and 9.
Hold on, wait a minute. You ever notice when the edification gets to coming out, it always be a lot of commotion, man. It's every time you deal with this topic, all this noise be coming by, man. Because the Lord don't want everybody to get it.
Right. Now I just Googled that Acts 2 and 9, what it was just read. Then you look in the Google and show you what Israel was scattered to.
The geography.
The geography, you know?
That's just like the what was it? Ethiopian eunuch. He was an Israelite.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Come on, man.
Yeah, because in the movie AD Kingdom and Empire, right? The Pharisees gave the Ethiopian eunuch a scroll. Yeah, wide open. There's a reason why they gave him a scroll. A scroll, man. All right, and we believe it's Isaiah 53, man.
Yep.
It's a gift. It was a gift. That's even remember when we were watching in The Chosen. They said, Rabbi, But this was when the Samaritan woman.
Yeah.
He was like, they went into the city and they said, he was getting ready. He said, Rabbi, pick from the scroll and read. Would you come and read for us? So if you came in and he didn't come empty-handed.
Right.
He didn't come empty because it was against the law. You had to come. If you come up, you can't come empty-handed. So it would make sense that hey, here you go for the, give him a scroll and he's on his way. What do you do when you on the way? He unraveled and he was reading. Any more on that? Okay, God, this is just one I must need because this will solidify the Lord's chosen on us, man. This is 2nd Ezra 5 in verse 24. And it says, in all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, which is Israel. And of all the flowers of the flowers, therefore, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. And of all the builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself. And of all the fowls that were created, thou hast named thee one dove. And of all the cattle that thou hast made, thou hast provided thee one sheep.
Now he says thou hast hallowed Zion, right?
That's right.
How come the other nations ain't hallowed?
Because they never were.
Exactly.
Hollow goes into holy, which means separate. They were never separated.
Exactly.
And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. And now, O Lord, thou hast given this one people over unto many.
So, John 3:16, when it says world, is speaking of one world,
That's
and
right.
that world is the world of Israel.
My man.
So we can say, when he said, has chosen thee one people, one world, the world of Israel.
He gave us a law that's approved. Oh,
exactly.
So you
approve it.
approve of the law.
You can approve it.
Yeah, you approve of it.
And it says,
But he don't approve of it because it say he cast it behind him.
He broke every one of them.
Broke every one of them.
A couple of
When it's
times.
convenient for
When
him.
it's convenient for
Because
him.
if you kill somebody, guess what they're going to do to you? They'll get rid of you. You see what I'm saying? They're going to take your life for life.
If they kill somebody, they get out.
Shit, they sacrificing babies, man. And it says, and upon the one root thou hast prepared others. And why hast thou scattered thy one people, thy only people among many?
So we've been scattered.
Get Tobit.
That's it.
The diaspora, man.
That's right.
13. It's in 13 and 9. I mean 13 and 3. It's 13 and 3, and it's in 3 and 9, I think too.
Man, it was cut up to cut up. He couldn't
He ain't want to deal with it. Don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You don't want to deal with the Apocrypha. It don't matter. It say the Apocrypha is bears witness with the Old Testament and the New Testament. He don't know the history.
This Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, he children of Israel. For he has scattered us among them.
For he has scattered us among them. That's what Apostle Paul was doing. He was professing Yahweh Shai amongst the Gentiles.
He was sent there.
It say he'll declare his greatness and extol him before all the living. For he is our Lord, he is the power, our Father forever. He will scourge us for our iniquities, and he and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations.
All nations. There go the all right there.
That's the whole thing.
That's it.
Because we look like at this point, the seed has been scattered amongst all these nations, all over the earth. So we look like every nation under the sun.
That's right. And the blessing part about that, because now we have to look at how the Lord acts in nature. Certain animals have certain things that separate them. Certain animals have offensive weapons. Some animals have defensive weapons. Certain animals use what? Camouflage.
Yeah.
So what was it says the foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men.
Yeah.
For him to make us look like these other nations, how are they going to destroy all
They
of us?
can't destroy. Yeah,
We camouflage. The Lord camouflages
The war
people
strategy.
that there would be no way to figure out where everybody is at. Because Esau's at a point now he could be like, look, if we all look the same way, Negroes, this, beards everywhere, guess what? He lying us up, man.
Easy.
So the Lord used camouflage just like he used it. And then the skunk. The skunk's what is what? To make it obscure and make it net. That's what he's doing unto us. It's like, golly, even police now, they don't want to deal with Jake, because why? There's a repercussion with it, man.
Now, we are that skunk. We are that skunk. And now, so by us being scattered and us looking like everyone now, that was a very strategic plan.
That was a battle.
So Esau cannot destroy us because he don't know how every Israelite looks.
And even in battle, bro, if you want, you can't. Why do they think in tanks they put fatigues on tanks? They camouflage the tanks because if you have planes flying over, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna bomb your gunners, man. Right. So it's a strategic move. This is a battle move, man. And then now he's waking those up and saying, look, they right in front of your face, man. He hit us in plain sight, man. That's a beauty.
It was spiritual warfare.
I'm gonna finish it. Toby 13 and 5. And he was called to us for our iniquities, and we have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations, among whom he has scattered us.
Hey, and every prophet in the Old Testament spoke about us being scattered. Ezekiel spoke about it, Isaiah spoke about it, Jeremiah spoke about it, Hosea spoke about it. I mean, the Spirit bear witness how all these different prophets, different time periods spoke the same thing. It don't matter, man.
We're in that time now.
We speak the same thing as brothers on the other side, LA, New York, Tanzania, wherever. Italy, we speaking the same thing.
Yeah, because that great song.
Just like you said, that's why it's a human body. Every body has tendons in it. Tendons and joints and ligaments, man. That's why the Lord described it. In the foot, there's almost 30 joints and 100 ligaments just in the foot. So that's the same thing with us. Like I said earlier, cherish your position. Because we're all, just like when the Lord moves here, guess what? The Lord moving his hand here. Then he's going to move it in Dallas. Then he's going to move it in D.C. He might move his foot here. So if you look at the Lord in the whole, guess what? The Lord is practically alive in us, man.
2 or 3 got my name.
There I shall be. So he's here now. He's literally, and the head is what? The apostles, man.
And that's why that's why everyone needs a pinky toe.
Yeah, balance.
A pinky toe. If you lose your pinky toe, you can't walk. You can't do nothing.
You're all
balance, man.
So that small thing, so an insignificant thing which is small, you look at that like what toe you want to lose? You be like, man, take the pinky.
If you lose your pinky finger,
you can't grab.
You can't pick up nothing.
But that pinky helps it solidify. So those little pieces help solidify this thing, man.
So we all have a very important part and piece in the body of Yahushua.
Call halal, man.
So with that, I hope you brothers and sisters edified. Hey, we're gonna face the east and we'll give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh Hashem. Number honor to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, we will teach well, be a great example to Israel, man the elect. We want to say peace and blessings to the hope of the elect on the four corner, pushing the truth and sincerity, that great song. Hey, keep pushing, we almost out of here. Next time, hit the ties and lock. Shalom. DTA, baby.